guys, welcome back. I'm using all of my favorite products to create my go-to makeup look. I'm starting off with the Evita Joseph Expert Brow Gel. I'm gonna run that through my eyebrows and make sure my eyebrow hairs are sitting all day. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my eyebrows with the MAC Cosmetics Concealer Palette. I'm using the shade NT45 to clean the bottom part of my brows. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that in, make sure that the concealer is not clumped down below my brows, and make sure that everything is nice and smooth. I'm using my one size loose setting powder in the shade Translucent to set the concealer down. And then I'm going in with the Evita Joseph Expert Brow Liner in the shade Rich Espresso to fill out my brows. For cleaning the top part of my brows, I go in with the shade NC50 from my MAC Cosmetics Concealer Palette, just cause it's really close to my skin tone and it just gives me the most flawless brows. I also like to fade the front part of my brows so that they look nice and soft. Just running through with the brush I use to set my brows down. For my base, I often like to start with a moisturizer. This is my go-to, the Youth to the People Air Whip Superfood Moisture Cream. This just keeps my skin moisturized and the oils at bay, because you know when your skin is moisturized, your skin doesn't end up overcompensating with oil. For primer, I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I'm gonna apply that onto my skin to make sure that my foundation has that grip. For foundation, I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I'm in the shade Amber Honey. I'm gonna put that all over my skin. It looks a little red, but everything comes together quite nicely. For blending my foundation, I like to use the Seamless Complexion brush from Real Techniques. This is my go-to brush. I really do love it. Helps the foundation to blend in seamlessly, covers up all the blemishes I have on my skin, and it just gives me a smooth base, basically. I also like to go in with a damp sponge to pick up any excess foundation and just to do some extra blending. Cream contour, I use the Makeup by Mario Sculpt stick in the shade Dark. I just put that on the perimeter of my face, my forehead, temples, the hollows of my cheekbones. I usually avoid my chin and jawline area just because it looks quite muddy, so I just avoid that. I'm blending that out with my Real Techniques contour brush and blending the hairline into the hairline and the cheekbones upwards. And what's left of the brush, I like to go on my jawline and chin so that it looks less harsh and muddy. Going in with my Patrick Tar nose contour brush to blend out my nose contour. Just drag it down the sides of the bridge of my nose and bring it onto my eyelids and the beginning part of my brows so that it connects and looks seamless. For concealer, I'm going in with my Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. I'm gonna apply that on my under eyes, my mustache area, the bridge of my nose, my forehead and chin. And I'm gonna go ahead and just blend that out with my Colorbox Cosmetics brush. I also go back in with my foundation brush to blend out any harsh lines and make sure that everything kind of looks seamless. That is my goal, to make sure that my base is as seamless as possible. Also going back in with my contour brush with no extra products to make sure that the base is seamless. I'm going in with a sponge to blend out the concealer, starting off with what's on my nose, and I'm going to move on to blending out my nose contour to make sure that it looks good as well. Before I go ahead and set my under eye area, I like to go back in with the sponge to take off any excesses and to make sure that the creases are not seated, because my under eyes tend to crease on me, so I like to make sure it's well blended out before I go in and set with any sort of powder. Before I set with loose powder, I go in with a pressed powder. I'm going in with a Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush pressed powder in the shade Tan 2. I'm going to use that to set my under eye, just pushing just a light layer to make sure it looks good. I've been doing this for a while and it works well, especially for full coverage days. So if you want to try it out, definitely do. I feel like it just keeps the under eye creases at bay. And for the rest of my face, where I applied my concealer, I'm going to use my loose powder from Patrick Star in the shade Translucent and my powder puff. I'm going to push the powder in there to make sure I set the liquid or cream on my face. For the rest of my face, I like to go in with a pressed powder that is close to my skin tone. I'm using my Real Techniques buffing brush and I'm just pushing the Fenty Beauty pressed powder into my skin to set that foundation down. I have oily combination skin, so definitely setting down any liquid or cream products on my face to make sure they don't budge all day is something that I like to do. If you have dry skin, you can definitely skip this step because the Estee Lauder is quite matte. I'm going in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in the shade Tan 3 and I'm applying that where I applied my cream contour earlier. I'm applying that with my Real Techniques blush brush and I'm just pushing that into my skin. Also gonna go over the sides of the bridge of my nose with the same bronzer. And I'm gonna take that bronzer onto my eyelids as well. I'm going in with my loose powder to bake. I like to bake when I'm doing full coverage makeup just because it just keeps my makeup looking good for the most part. You can skip baking if it doesn't work for you, but this is what I like to do personally. For eyeshadow, this is my favorite look. I like to go in with a shade that looks like my bronzer and I apply that all over my eyelids. And then I go in with a matte black eyeshadow to create a wing. Sometimes I don't create a wing, but today I definitely created one because I felt like it. And then I'm gonna tight line with a black eyeliner from Wet n Wild. I'm gonna go ahead and smoke that liner out with the dark brown that I used on my eyelids earlier. Going back in with my buffing brush to blend that powder into my skin. Also back in with the setting brush to blend the powder under my eyes in. For blush, my favorite blush at this moment in time is the Patrick Star Double Take blush. It comes with a cream and powder. It's in the shade She's Baked. So how you apply it is you go in with the powder, apply that, and then you go back in with the cream and apply that on top of the powder. It was crazy to me at first, but I've grown to like how this applies. It just looks really, really good. And then I go back in with my powder puff and a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder, and I push that under my eyes. It's a lot, but it's definitely okay for me. And I'm just going back in with my brush to make sure everything is nice and set before I go in with my Urban Decay, the sleek setting spray, and I spritz that all over my face. I literally bathe in that stuff, guys. I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in the shade Crown of my Canopy. I'm gonna apply that at the tip and the bridge of my nose and my inner corners, as well as the high points of my brow bone. That's where I like to apply highlighter these days. For my lips, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the foundation of my lips because I want my lips to look super pouty. I'm going in with this Wood dark brown pencil. Any pencil, dark brown pencil from the beauty supply store would work with this kind of lip look. And then I'm gonna go in with a Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat in the shade Foxy Brown to blend the dark brown into my lip. This is a lighter brown pencil, so it just kind of mixes with the dark brown and it looks like an ombre lip. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my eyelashes. These eyelashes are from J-Lux Beauty. The center of my lip, I'm going in with a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Super Fabulous. It is a peachy brown nude lipstick and it goes so well with my look. This is my go-to look, so I just kind of recreate this look over and over again for nights out, dates, and stuff like that. For my lower lashes, I apply the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara because this is great. And yeah, this is an up close of what it looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.